All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to Replo's live CRO Teardown event featuring Sean Brand and the co-founder of Oddit. Throughout today's event, Sean will be taking a deep dive into various websites, identifying potential areas for improvement, and providing expert analysis on how to optimize your sites to increase conversion rates. I'll also be sharing actionable tips and strategies that you can use to enhance your website's performance. And we're going to be accepting submissions as they come in, so if everyone can please drop your websites into the chat, that'd be great. And before I turn it over, I'd like to quickly introduce Replo. Replo is a visual web development platform that allows teams to create beautiful, high-performance landing pages on Shopify without the need for developers. Replo is light years ahead of other page builders when it comes to customization and page speed. We have a library of proven landing page templates that anyone can use, as well as certified experts who can help build custom pages in just a few days. And one last thing I'd like to mention before I turn it over here, we have a couple of community meetups happening this week. Actually, tomorrow we have one in LA and one in Toronto. I'm going to drop the invite links in there. This is the LA event, and this is the Toronto event. Please sign up if you are in the area. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to Sean, and want to thank you, Sean, and the entire Oddit team. And yeah, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Justin. Excited to be doing this as usual. We always have fun doing this. Laura, you sent through a few to me. Should I follow the ones in the Zoom chat, or should I go through?
I just sent them sort of in the order they come through in our Slack chat. But I can pop them in right in here if it's easier.
No, it's okay.
Cool.
I'm just gonna get my screen share going here. So the first up is Senko.
Yeah, Danny popped in the chat, Sean. I'm a bespoke shoemaker and just didn't find proper shoelaces, so I think that kicked off the whole idea for Senkos and what he's got here today.
Oh, nice. Everyone can see my.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, sweet. All right. Custom shoelaces.
Yeah, started in 2020 in Austria.
Shoelaces. Super cool. Sorry, I'm just going to click through a few things before I get in. So the main thing that I see when I first come on here, so I'm going to go back to the home page quickly. Is shoes are one of those things that everyone has more than one pair, right? Everyone has, 10, 20. It's one of those everyone has multiples of. I think this is a really good use case for when bundling would be super beneficial. So like you've got access to all the different shoelace shapes here and colors. Like this breaks them down really simply and easily. But I think offering the ability to build a bundle of different laces, so like if I went up here, having the shop and then being able to pick the shape of the lace, and having a category right beside it that just says Senko's bundles, or even bundles with a little tag that says save 15% or 10%, whatever that looks like from a savings perspective. I think any way that we can get people to buy multiple of these at once, because like I said, most people have more than one pair of shoes and they're all different shapes and sizes usually, right? Maybe they have 3 pairs of Vans like this, but they probably also have boots and dress shoes. So I think leaning on the ability to bundle on this specific site would be really powerful. Even within the product pages, it wouldn't even always necessarily need to be its own section in the site. Being able to okay, you've added this one, and then upselling more shapes and sizes in here, I think could be really beneficial. Translating most of it, sorry. I'm gonna ship 6 minutes. Other than that, the site looks really great. I think let's see this length guide. Oh, it's not going to translate it for me. One thing on these that would be really helpful is actually showing the color on these. So right now, in order for me to see the different end colors, I have to click each to kind of get text. But if you could have a color swatch in each, obviously most people know what gold looks like, but it can be very specific with different metals and stuff. So having a color swatch in there can usually be helpful. I also always suggest putting whichever one is selected right beside the title. So here it says top, just have a colon here and then just say which one is selected. So it would say top, rose gold, top brass. Anything that's just an extra visual confirmation. Hey, here's what you've picked. Same with the length. Same thing here, even though these are all the same pair, the same style, I would highly suggest saying testing removing this and having 1, 2, 3 like purchase options. So pack of 1, 3 pairs, 5 pairs of the same color and everything, and just giving price breaks at each of those. So it's 16 euros a pair if you're buying 1, it's 15 if you're buying 3, and it's 12 if you're buying 5. You'll see an increase in AOV, and then you'll also see you'll just see more bundling happening, which is generally, especially when you're bundling things with the savings added in, you're going to see a higher AOV and conversion rate. All right, let's do the next one, Laura.
Brill. So we've got thrillseekergear.com for the next one, Sean.
Gear. Is anyone from Thrillseeker on the call?
Yep, I am. UV.
How you doing, man?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
Good. You want to tell me a little bit about the site and just kind of where things are at?
Yeah, so it's a fairly new brand, and we're an online retailer where we specialize in health and wellness and adventure sports and outdoor living gear. So we basically we're a retailer where we partner up with different brands, and then we just market it online through Google Ads and SEO.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, so a few things right off the bat. I'm just going to go on mobile on this one. So actually, my point I was going to make is better here. So first, I know when I come in here is you're curating products, right? You're not producing these products. So you're curating a bunch of products. If I'm going to enter a marketplace, it's always good to know how robust is it, right? How many products am I going to get into? And that's going to help me decide how to shop, right? So what I'm getting at is right when I land here and I see this search bar, call out how many products you have, right? Like something as simple as search 1,000 top quality outdoor living products, right? Anything that can give them context of like how many products are on site, because if it'll help them decide how much filtering they need to do to find what they're looking for. And it's just anything that can provide context. The higher that number is in most cases, the more trust it's building, right? If you can curate a certain number of products, right, that takes a lot of work. There's trust built there. So you want to communicate that as quickly as possible. And I would say that even goes down into this level, right? These collections, massage chairs, e-boards, e-bikes, if I see that card and I know that there's one bike in there, or if I know that there's, like, look how many are in here, it's crazy.
Yeah.
If on that card it said, instead of view collection, it said explore all 45 models.
Okay, yeah. So being more specific.
Being more specific and letting them know that there's selection there, it really plays into that marketplace, and just, again, we're just trying to communicate more clearly to drive action.
Okay. And with the search bar, were you just saying instead of like what are you looking for, just replace that with what you basically gave an example, correct?
Yeah, like you're just trying to be more specific. The search bar, people know what the search bar is for. So if you're gonna write something in there, just make it have that added value, like search over 5,000 or search over 1,000, whatever the number is. Give them an idea of how many products they can search through.
Okay.
Just going to click into one of these. I'm going to go on mobile. Why does Chrome do this? There we go. Okay, so the main issue here. So the price is the same no matter on all of these?
Yeah, for this product, yeah.
Okay. So the main thing I would say here is, let's just assume that it's a new user to not just your website, but new to electric skateboards.
Mhm.
This product interests me, right? I skateboard, but I don't have an electric one, so this product interests me. The first question I have when I get here is, how do I know which one I need, right? Like,
Yeah.
the price doesn't change. I don't know what the difference personally, again, just my point of view, I don't know what a direct drive or a belt drive is.
Mhm.
I don't know what a terrain wheel looks like versus a street wheel. The photos don't update to show me the difference between those wheels, I don't think. No.
Yeah, no,
So
you're right.
there's just no context here. So to think that someone could make a decision, there's just, and this may not be on every product page, but for this specific product, it's likely that there's a lot of not misinformation, lack of information here, where it's not that they don't want this product, they just don't have enough information to make a decision. So what I would do here is first I would get these all side by side. Then
Okay.
I would show the price on each, because the first thing I thought was like, okay, where's the price? I'm sure they're different. I would then have a pop-up here that says, help me choose. And then that pop-up should just show imagery of, this is what belt drive with street wheels looks like. Here's the benefits of it. Here's who it's for, right?
Yeah.
You live in the city and you want to ride it to work every day, right? Like, that's a random.
Okay.
But like, give them context, make them understand why they would need this version of it. And I would do the same thing in the gallery. In this gallery, use that gallery space and have an image that just shows all three versions, right? Even if they look identical, show all three: belt drive with street wheels, belt drive with all-terrain. Show the wheel difference. Tell them why they're different and why each one is needed, kind of thing.
Okay.
Help them pick. And then I would also test removing this quantity selector at this price point, $17.60. It's likely they're not ordering two, and you're just adding another decision distraction point.
Okay.
I would test removing that. I'm just going to look at another product just to see. Just tell me if I'm moving too fast.
Nope, all good.
See, even stuff like this, I mean, it's great to show the color here and it updates there, but like, we're doing upsells of extended warranty, which is great, but is it being extended a day? Is it being extended a month, a year, a decade? No one's going to add $250 to their order with no context of what that means, right? Like, this has to say the length, extended or 2-year extended warranty. Anything that's just, again, going back to even the homepage, just more specific, crystal clear. If someone comes in completely cold, they need to understand all of this information without, I'm sure if I went down here, there, I'm sure I can find what the extended.
Yeah, it should be.
No, it's not. Either way, though, if it is in here, it needs to be up here, right? Like, you can't assume that someone's just gonna be like, yeah, 250, I'll just risk it. No one's risking. They need to know what it is. Same with this. What's the difference between glove and not white glove, right? And then also it's tough to tell. It's not super clear that these are being added. Anyways, the main thing I'm getting at is just, we need to communicate more clearly. And same thing here. It's likely they're not adding two. If they are, like, let's just say add here. You can always do it in cart normally. There's still the option to do it if they really want to, but generally when you remove that distraction, it helps increase conversion rate.
Okay.
All that makes sense?
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. What do we got next, Laura?
We just get into our chat.
This one?
You got it. Magnetic wireless charging.
Anyone on the call from your tech?
Yes.
We've got Jude on.
Hello. Yeah. So basically, the page that I shared, product currently converting at over 4%. I have done a free audit already and tried some of the suggestions, which is bringing the price up and having the carousel at the top. But all that does for us is increase the add to carts, but the actual purchase conversions go down. For whatever reason, the current format of the page seems to be working. That's the above the fold before you get to the add to cart.
How many products are there? Let's see. 6, 7. I mean, based on my sorry, just reading. I mean, I'm guessing this is the primary product you're pushing, this wireless charger?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the first thing I would say is just giving more access to the products up here. Like, there's not that many products, so like I would put charging accessories, you know, and
I see that.
like there's only 7 products. Like, there's no need to put a category page. This isn't giving them any extra benefit. You're just adding a step in the process for no reason. So, you know, remove home, remove shop all, just say chargers, or I mean, honestly, you could probably get away with having almost all of these up there, but especially if you're trying to sell this and that's your primary product, like that, you should just have a button up here that's just like shop the wireless charger on, 60% off. Just open to that. Same thing here, like you're showing this wireless charger that's 60% off. Say that, you know what I mean? Like shop all, second action here, shop wireless charger on sale, or shop wireless charger 60% off. I like the idea of having the comparison chart here. It's almost better to use a logo here of a certain brand. I don't know if not having a logo is a good thing for most, like whenever you're looking at content for a comparison chart, it needs to not say everything. It needs to say everything that you do better, or you do more beneficial to the consumer. So not having a brand markup, that's great, right? That's a cost savings for the customer. That said, it's probably the same thing as savings, right? And markup and savings, those are the same thing. Not having a logo on it, I would say most consumers would prefer to have a logo on it because it means they can trust the quality of the product. So that's leading off with that, to me, is a downside. You're not making your case for why they should buy a YTG versus a premium brand. I would prefer to see the Apple logo on it because then I know I've got a certain warranty. I've got customer support. I can send it back if it doesn't work. It's the biggest brand in the world. I can probably trust that it's going to be good quality. Even here, right? Like this is cut off, which it shouldn't be on desktop, but that's a great thing to have the same manufacturers. But again, it doesn't tell me much, right? Like you have the same manufacturer as every premium band of the product. That doesn't really make sense. So in general, this comparison chart, where you're trying to build trust, every time I read something, it's kind of falling apart, right? There's no way that you have 7 products and they're made in the same manufacturing plant as every premium brand in the world. It's obviously a lie. So not saying you're a liar, but it's probably made in the same manufacturing plant as a product, which is fine. But the lack of clarity there just makes it feel like you're just trying to push products, which you are obviously. But I think just being just like that last like thrill seeker site, be more specific here, even if it's not, you know, the same as every premium brand. Like let's just show what brand you're comparing to, so there's a better baseline. Let me just go to the product page. Is this the product page or collection page?
The product page.
Super unique. I've never seen anything like this. So is this? Oh, that's like what's included.
Yes.
I like this gallery a lot. The one thing we find in general, first off, this is an issue. Your sticky add to cart sits below your chat button, so you can't actually click it. In general, it's always dangerous to have the add to cart on the screen at all times. So like here, you just assume that they're gonna always have access to it, so you can just put this add to cart down here anywhere on the page because they always have it here. That's generally not the case. There's actually, we see a higher add to cart and conversion when we get them to this point faster versus the add to cart here. So I would definitely test that. I think
but as I'm saying, I've tested that out and it didn't work from a conversion standpoint. It did work from an add to cart perspective, but getting people to actually purchase, like the conversions dropped when we brought the add to cart higher on the page for whatever reason. That's what I have tried that out.
So it's a cart issue then. Let me see. Lifetime warranty free at $50. Minus charging. So what I would test then is having it pop in at different times. So like right now, it's there at all times, right? As soon as I load the page, no, it's not there. Oh, there it is. It's there at all times. So maybe just test it doesn't trigger till they scroll at least, so that they can actually get this first section of information in. And then the other thing you gotta deal with this chat thing. This is I know it seems like a small thing, but the second that someone goes to add to cart and they accidentally hit this and it pops up your chat, you've made them frustrated and they're leaving your site. So I would, if there's ever a sticky element on your site, such as add to cart, this needs to be in or behind it.
Gotcha.
Because I can't even see the price right now. It's also not letting me scroll for some reason. The other thing I would say here is, instead of just showing the crossed out price on the tag at the bottom there, actually add like a label that shows what, I truly can't tell you what percentage off it is because I can't read the price, but the savings are, or even in the add to cart button, like cart 60% off, right? Like call it out right on there. So you're kind of pushing that discount as hard as you can to the user. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not letting me scroll. My computer? What the hell?
Yeah, maybe use the mouse. Sometimes it happens like that. Like you'd have to actually click like you're on mobile.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a super interesting layout of everything, but I think what's great about it is you give a lot of good information. Like there's tons of great information. It's somewhat overwhelming for how simple the product is, but it's all very beneficial. Like you go into great detail.
Yeah, it's been something that built up over time. We found out the less information on the page, we had too many questions in the live chat, and the more I put on the page, the less the live chats we got and the higher the conversions essentially. So But I do get that feedback that it's overwhelming, and I've been trying to figure out how to keep it simple while still providing the best information.
Any way you can incorporate more, this is cool. Any way you can incorporate more customer feedback or stuff like this, I think would be helpful. It definitely feels very, very salesy in a sense of like it's mostly content built by your team versus UGC or customer content. You know, it could mean finding ways to fit it into this gallery. Even getting those videos into this gallery could be helpful. But yeah, overall, I mean, I think lots of small tweaks, is going to make the difference. And I think the biggest thing I would say is you got to figure out this chat thing. Is if it was me shopping, and I saw this, I would just leave the site because I'd get so frustrated that I can't click add to cart. I'd be gone.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Cool. Luxy Face we've got next, Sean, the fourth one. A K beauty brand. And Salil is on the call, I believe.
Sorry, is anyone on the call from Luxy Face?
Yeah, Salil popped it in just when we joined. So Salil, are you still on there? Are you still on the call?
It's okay if not. I can just go through it. Okay, all good. I'm just gonna dive in. Sure. And Chrome is just being mean today. Skincare products. Okay, so first things first. Rule number one, never automatically transition your carousel if you're going to have one, because you're assuming users are digested the info at the exact time you think they're going to. So the other thing I'll say is, let me just check before I open my mouth here. Okay, so.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Sean, am I audible?
You want to give me any context, or you want me to just dive in?
We sell Korean cosmetics to 15 international market, mostly USA, Canada, Europe, and Asia Pacific. And we sell around 75 prominent K-beauty brands. And my current CTR is around 0.8, while conversion is around 1.8. And we do only Google ads. But I want to increase the conversion because my ROAS is good around 8, but conversion is only 1.8.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so a few things here. I think the main thing I don't get when I land here is that there's a lot of different products, right? There's so many D2C brands now. It's hard to know when I land here that I'm not shopping Luxy Face products. So I land here, I see the brand, I see Luxy Face. I don't even have enough time to, same thing as the last site, this silly chat thing. So this is in the way, I can't even click these. But you're making the assumption that I know you're a marketplace, right? So I come here, I land here, I see this, and I see the two pads with no products. So it's just, there's no way I'm gonna click here not knowing what I'm actually getting into. So I would lead off by communicating how many brands you carry. So they know they're getting into a marketplace. Of course, it's
okay.
Scroll again. I want to do that. Okay, sorry, going on desktop because that's just too frustrating. So like, you know, I wouldn't show this, but you could say, like, that's a great headline. That would be the headline I would lead the entire site with. You're not a skincare brand. You're curating the best skincare brands for users, right?
Correct.
That needs to be communicated right off the bat. Same with the disc. Sorry, this is way too fast. I would triple the time that takes or turn off the automated.
Yeah, currently it is 5 seconds. Okay.
And then on the, if you're going to have a discount, like the sale or 40% off, just needs to be much louder, right? Like if they've hit an ad and they're going to a beauty skincare site, they know they're looking for beauty skincare. You don't need to tell them again. You need, the main thing you're trying to communicate here to get a click through is 40% off, right? That's really compelling. That should be really loud, even if it's like, you know, in the button, shop skincare up to 40% off or shop makeup, you know what I mean? Try and be a little more loud about that part of it. Body care. This could be really interesting. You know, you can shop by brand up here. This is a little bit overwhelming. I might just show a few products here, like the actual products, and then just have them go through all the brands. Just because that logo grid, there's probably people trying to click on those logos.
Okay.
And it could be confusing. The little product page here. I would probably put all this content on these collections pages at the bottom instead of at the top.
Okay.
Just because it has the chance to push a lot of content down. Go to the product page here quickly. Lots of good product imagery. One thing I would add in here is a customer review, if you can.
It is there on the sidebar, as well as if you select any product where the review is there, then.
Put here?
Yeah, correct. And you can select any of the products where the review is there, and you can see the.
I don't know, it just shows reviews for other products. But either way, I would not have these images down here because they're up here already.
Okay.
How to use ingredients. I would also remove this, see the sharing section. Anytime we have, you know, on a product page, obviously this is what we're trying to get them to do, right? We're trying to get them to add to cart or purchase. You don't want any distractions. So if you do want to have these, or you want to, you know, have them somewhere on the page, just move them to the very bottom. Same with this button, right? If you want to write a review, put it at the bottom. Like put this write a review section way down here at the very bottom. We don't want any click distractions in this area here.
Okay.
This is more of a personal opinion, but anytime you're offering additional discounts, my opinion is you just need to be okay with every customer using it. I don't like when we bury information like this where it's like, hey, it's 23% off, or if you happen to read this one line, you can get an extra 6 discount. You just got to do this code. You're just giving the user more work to do, right? Either remove this or just make this 25%, right? Increase it a little bit. But making them do more work, they got to go make sure they read this, copy this, right? Go to the cart, make sure they input it. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe they copied it wrong and added a space. It seems like it's great because you're adding a discount, but you're just adding more steps for them to take when all you want them to do is check out, right?
Okay.
So I would test turning that off and just increasing the percentage here a little bit.
Sean, in what happens in the Google Merchant Center, it shows prominently on top. If we give the additional discount through the promotion tab, it shows on the Google GMC shopping feed 6% off in my listing. So it becomes catchy. So that's why the additional discount. Otherwise,
Okay.
I would have clubbed it to 23%.
Right. Okay, good to know. Other than that, though, the page looks really good. I think the one thing I would be wary of with This is so frustrating. My computer won't scroll on mobile. Anytime you have one option, right? Like you say right here, 140 mil, 60 pads. If there's only one variant, it's not a variant, right? So you just don't show it. There's no reason to them take up this space on the page if there's only one option. If there was two options, it makes sense. But if there's only one, you need to have this selector here. You can probably just hide it.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing. I hope that was helpful. Sorry, I wasn't able to
Yes.
figure out mobile. I don't know what's going on here, but thank you.
Thank you, Sean. It was really helpful.
We've got 2 more links in at the moment. So if anyone else though that's on the call wants to pop any in the chat, just pop them in there. Yeah, cool. Sean, you've got the Poshwood site up. And I think you guys have had something quite recently. So is there any specific questions? I think we've got Tony on the call. Was there any specific questions or any random pages that Sean might take a look at today? If you want to share, Tony.
He's in the chat.
Oh, brilliant. Just seen that. Hiya. It's more about losing people and sort of where the user experience breaks down, I suppose.
I think I remember going through this site, I think it was last month, Tony. A lot of it comes down to just, in my opinion, because this is a product I would buy, is just showing the product off better. I think a lot of the visuals on site and a lot of the situations that you show it in, it doesn't really necessarily show enough detail. It's hard to understand what's happening. So like, I'm on desktop right now, but like, you don't see these products very well. Like even in a lot of the photos, the focal point's not the product, it's a couch, a table. Like you really kind of lose the appeal of the wall product. And then the other thing that at least I find with this product in particular is we're talking about it being an acoustic product. I think what most people don't understand when it comes to an acoustic product like this is the benefits of it in comparison to drywall or in comparison to anything else that they might have. So I think part of where you're probably losing customers is it's not super cheap, right? If you were to compare it to a piece of drywall, I'm guessing it's more expensive. And we're not communicating, the benefits right here, probably well enough. So we talk about it being premium long, that's great. Refined organic, great. Easy install, great. Tailored customization, great. So this, right? This is, all of these other things I can get in 1,000 other products. The main thing that yours stands out for is it has acoustic sound absorption properties and it still looks beautiful. That's really hard to find. So like, restaurant scene, places like that, that's where I'm being a big seller. Communicating that value, that it looks beautiful and it has these sound baffling or sound absorption qualities is important. Communicating that in a comparison chart is extremely critical, right? Like I want to know price per square foot. What's the difference between this and 2 other common products that I would use on my wall, right? Maybe it's like foam sound absorption panels, like you'd imagine like a recording studio, normal drywall, concrete. What are the, comparison chart of price per square foot, sound absorption, sound, reflection, right? Like I'm in a concrete box that just sounds like crap when I'm on a call. It's very echoey, right? Give them an idea of the comparison between those things and help them understand why they need to spend a little bit more, I'm guessing, per square foot on the product. The other thing that they probably struggle with is visualizing it in their space. And I know that's not an easy thing to do, but it is getting easier with all the tech and AI that's happening lately. That's becoming easier and easier to have plugins where a user can actually see the product in their space. Whenever it comes to a very visual, textured product like this, users always want to see it in their space. So that's probably also part of the issue. Do you offer samples at all? Sorry, I know you. Chat. Yeah, you do offer samples. That's another thing. I would probably have somewhere over here is 94 by 25. Somewhere in this area, see, like you have, like we were saying on the last site, remove all decision points except for the primary one. So I come here, I've got the ability to share 4 different ways, a variant selector, which I probably don't need, right? You could just say this is the size. And then I've got add to cart, Google Pay, and box calculator. I would add a function in here where I can order a sample of this, because it's probably a lot of what's happening is as I start to add more square feet of this, right, it gets pretty pricey. People are going to want to see the sample of it, and getting those samples and surfacing that, even though it's going to make your purchase process and or turnaround to sell someone a lot longer, I think you're going to have a much higher conversion when people can touch and feel this and have the opportunity to do that. Because I don't, oh, and there's a visualizer here. Yeah, see, this needs to be accessed on that product page. Also, just a small thing before we move on to the next site. Anytime you're going to tell someone to do something, make sure they can do it. So like free shipping on all US orders, there's no action I need there, right? 30-day returns, no action needed. But here, you're telling them, try out the Posh visualizer. And then you just leave them hanging, right? You told them, go try this visualizer, it's gonna blow your mind. And then now I have to go find it, right? And on your site, you don't call it this. You don't call it the visualizer, you call it Posh AR. So now you've told them that they can go try it out, but now they have to go hunt for a Posh visualizer that's not communicated on the site. It's called something else, which I know what AR is, so I found it, but I bet you a lot of users don't know where to look. I think we got time for 1 or 2 more, Laura, if we have them.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Ecommerce is another one that we've got just in our chat, Sean, and we've got Miracia here with us today.
Hello.
Hiya.
Do you have anything you want me to tell us about the brand of the site, or you want me to just dive in?
You can dive in. It's nothing special about. Only that it's a high ticket product. It's usually bought by people 35 plus, and that we have conversion rate very low.
Very low, is that what you said?
It's 0.8, I would say. It very depends. It's very up and down. Sometimes we have 1.5, but most, if you'll take a long term, it will be 0.8, I would say, yeah.
I think the main thing I'll say right off the bat is the second I land on site, like the visuals are beautiful, everything's there. I think where I get lost, and not lost like on the site, but you lead off by saying it's the ultimate luxury bedding. The first place my head goes is like, okay, that's awesome. What makes it luxury, right? What makes it so amazing compared to, and maybe it's like that much more amazing than all their products, and it's just a marketing tag. That's fine, but you need to lead off with something that's a true like differentiator, right? Is a differentiator that you have these beautiful patterns, right? Maybe that's a differentiator. Like I would test out some other differentiators if you're not going to actually communicate what makes it the ultimate bedding experience, because I'm just kind of lost of like, okay, it's ultimate luxury bedding. Okay, then I shop bestsellers, I click on this one, beautiful. All it tells me here is before here, size, pick my sheets, duvet cover, 2 pillowcases. Like it's not telling me anything. And in fact, I see the price point and I'm like, this is not luxury bedding. Like I'm not being an ass. Like if I'm paying $129 for all of this, I know right away it's not luxury bedding. So maybe that's just not the right positioning statement for this. You're claiming something's luxury and super high, but you don't have a high-end price point. People just smell the bullshit instantly. I would just avoid that, or honestly increase price. Like you got to find that balance. And the other thing I would do here is all of this stuff is probably what makes it luxury, right? All of this stuff needs to be pulled up here in some way, within reason, right? Like soft to touch, 100% Egyptian cotton, 500 thread count. They can just be little checkboxes, right? Like Egyptian cotton, 500 thread count, silky smooth. Yeah, like anything you can pull up here that's going to help position these as a luxury product or the ultimate luxury bedding experience, right? Anything you can add there to give more context around that is going to be helpful. This one is interesting. So most people, when they see press, they can why, like there was maybe an article in Vogue about, best value bedding sites, right? And maybe that was it. Can you give me some context around the Netflix one?
It actually was featured in one of TV series.
One of what, sorry?
One of the TV series, it was featured there.
So all of these press pieces can be really powerful, but visualizing them some way is where it really is going to be the most, right? Because as seen in Netflix, okay, that's cool, that's awesome, but it's one of those things where people need to see proof, right? Anyone can just pop a logo in here. If you can say like, as seen in X show and then show it, it's just so much more powerful, right? It's like, oh, cool.
Okay.
Same with the Vogue, same with like any of these ones. Actually giving them proof of it, whether it's a quote, whether it's an image, it can be really helpful to like build on that social proof and make sure that it really hits home for you. Let me just see here.
Yeah, I was really intrigued with the Netflix and what that was featured in. So good call.
Yeah, because there's certain shows on Netflix where the beds look like crap, right? I don't want.
It would certainly speak to that fan
But
base.
if it was Downton Abbey, maybe I'm really intrigued. But yeah, I think any way that you can elevate that communication in terms of what makes it like, it's softer than most hotels. Like that's a great line, but we need to build on that. What makes these more luxury than your standard bedding that you would buy online. Just gonna look at this product page one more time.
We had in the past the description before the variants. The reason I put it down is because I notice with recordings that people usually on the phone, they have to scroll down to choose variants, go up to see the photos, especially for the product when we have multiple colors and they have swatches. They have like to scroll up, scroll down, scroll up, scroll down. And I just decided to put information below just to let people like have access.
Yeah, I think it's definitely about finding balance, right? Like as an example, like what we're looking at right here, there's no reason that, you couldn't have a developer spend a few hours and you could get this here on every page, right? You could have these three beside each other and you've just saved 10% of the screen height and moved everything up, right? There's all these little tweaks that you can do to make up for that, right? So if you were to pull a few of these tricks here, it's just about fine tuning everything else to make up for it, right? I'm not saying push your add to cart down and don't worry about it. I think there's a balance there. Same thing as the ThrillSeek site that we were looking at. Right here, you're making a big assumption that people know the difference here. And maybe you have it somewhere and I just missed it, but
it's slightly down in the description.
Sorry?
Slightly below description, basically. You can see here what it's include, basic, enhanced. No, slightly on the top. Yeah. It's where it say the includes, like basic, enhanced.
What the hell am I creating?
Way above the details.
Oh, here.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, sorry. I should have, but I'm making my own point here that I wasn't able to see that. The main thing here is big optional sheet. I still don't understand the difference.
Well, then it's something with sheet we need to work on.
Yeah,
It's
so
basically you have a basic, it's mean like bed cover plus 2 pillowcases or optional sheet, and enhanced it's kind of additional 2 square pillowcases. The reason we didn't put like just plus 2 square pillowcases, it's some of the set have a little different setup,
right.
And we just like wanted to have a more generic name for this and shorter name, let's say.
Yeah. So what I would do here, thank you for explaining that. I think what I would do here is instead of having this as a variant selector that says set type, I would completely remove this. Do not have any difference between set types, right? Because you're not actually changing the set. You're just adding a couple pillowcases. And I'm sure every set's a little bit different of what the add-on is. I would just straight have this as a radio selector. So this would just be one button, radio selector, add 2 pillowcases or add 2 additional pillowcases and show the price, right? It's 40 pounds. So just say pillowcases, 40 pounds and let them pick that. There's no communication error. There's no way they can't understand that. You're not trying to communicate, okay, what's the difference between basic and enhanced? You can even remove this. It doesn't need to say basic anywhere. This is just the bedding set includes this. If I want 2 more cases, it's $40. I can just click here and add it. That way they're never needing to scroll. They're never needing to understand the difference between these 2 things. It communicates a lot more clearly. Yes, it may not be as sexy, but you're going to see more add to carts.
Okay. Thanks for explaining.
Let's see if we can find one more thing in here. Do we have time for one more, Laura? Is there one more?
There actually isn't. So if anyone have any, just pop them in the chat now.
Does anyone have any questions about anything that we talked about? I just kind of.
We got one more from Jackie.
Oh, here we go. Condom site. Let's see.
What a way to finish.
Finish it off with a little condom.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Our session. Apologies.
Get 2 condom 12 packs free. Only pay for shipping. Well, that's a good deal. Let's see. So with this free 12 pack, are you sending that out and then are they signing up for a subscription when they start the free one and then doesn't charge for the second month, or how are you doing it?
Hey, so yeah, we're just launching actually. We just launched tomorrow, so hopefully there's a lot of things that you can find that we need to fix. But yeah, the whole deal that we're promoting is that they subscribe they can get up to 2 free 12 packs and they just pay for shipping. But yeah, the idea is to get them to subscribe, although they do have the option to just do a one-time purchase.
Cool. No, it's a great strategy. I think my very first comment is I love the design of this. That said, let me just see on most. Yeah, so it's really tricky to have multiple selectors this close to each other. So imagine on a device, there's probably, I don't know, 5 pixels, 10 pixels between these. There's a good chance that when they click this, they're hitting this, or if they click this, they're hitting this. And anytime you have accidental clicks like that, you're just frustrating the user, and in a lot of cases, they just leave. You have their attention for such a low amount of time. My advice would be, first off, I would probably just give these some breathing room, right? So add space. You've got a ton of white space right here. Just move this down so they're not so close. Alternatively, I would test only showing this, right? So again, you're making users do math here. You're saying, okay, I want 12 pack and I want 2 of them, right? 24. I could have just clicked here. In most cases, this is probably enough to just let them pick how many they want. I would test hiding this completely and just see if you get more click-throughs.
Okay, that makes sense. Would you recommend doing that before giving it a little bit more breathing room for the quantity?
If it was up to me, and you probably won't have enough traffic for it to matter initially, but I would split test, giving them more breathing room as, you know, version A, just a little more share, and then version B, removing quantity, the quantity field altogether.
Yeah.
So obviously this is more sensitive, and I might be wrong, but I kind of want to know what the condom looks like. So you've got the outside packaging, you've got the actual condom packaging, but I don't actually see the condom. Now, maybe all condoms are the same, but I would test having a dish here that actually shows it. This area is interesting. In general, you kind of always want the add to cart to stand out as much as possible. So if you look up here, you've got purple, gray, green, blue, purple, orange, and throughout the page, you alternate what color actions are, right? So this is an actual like action to take somewhere, that's orange. Then I've got actions that are variants, those are yellow. Then I've got a variant action, yellow. Then I've got add to cart, yellow. So the point I'm getting at is find a way for that so that all your variants are one primary color. All your actions that take them off page can be another color, but your add to cart should be a different color that stands out. So like your sticky add to cart's blue. That would probably be better here. So make this one blue stand out from all the other actions on page. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes total sense. And now that I see you scrolling, I feel like that CTA gets a little bit lost with the rewards star also.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great to give the volume option there, but I would test that too. Like I would just test just showing add to cart. Say 12 condoms, and if they want to change it, they can scroll back up. I would test that.
Yes.
But yeah, the product looks great. So thank you for sharing, and good luck with the launch.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, I was 2 minutes over, Justin.
Awesome. That was great, Sean. Thank you so much. And thank you, Laura, and the rest of the Oddit team. And really appreciate everyone showing up today. We'll post this on YouTube in the next 24 hours here. And we'll definitely be doing this again next month. So keep an eye out. And again, thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone, for sharing.
Thanks, Sean. Justin. Thanks, Sean. See you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.